spice the matchup up just a little bit. To the bottom, not bottom, to the top left-hand side, our red Terran player here from Sidestone Gaming is GuMiho here on Dreamcatcher for game number 1. Obviously, we're at that sort of stage where we're starting to get used to some of these maps now, seeing a good amount of them in WCS, of course. Just in general, seeing how things are going. It's always fun. And seeing kind of players figure out strategies and ways to play, figuring out which maps they never want to play on again. It's getting to that point where people are, you know, developing their feelings, and always cool to see how things do turn out. Bottom right, we have the blue Protoss player. This is Zest. So, getting into game number 1 of this best of 3 series, our second series of the day. Again, we're going to be going through these replays all the way through the grand finals and covering those as well. Then we're probably going to have a little bit of downtime on the stream, or a little bit of time to just chill out before we actually are able to go into the WCS America qualifiers tonight. We're going to cast a little bit of those. We'll see how far we go. Very much so, just depends how I'm feeling, depends how things are going and stuff. So we'll be going for that a little bit later on. We'll see what happens. We'll see how things go. And yeah, excited to see what's going to happen as we get this underway in the next few moments. Just in general, going to be a fun day because you know, WCS qualifiers are always fun. It's going to be a nice long stream for us to get kind of back into things. Tomorrow's going to be a super long stream as well, so it's going to be super awesome. Really looking forward to all of this and seeing how things go and that sort of stuff. So, again, for now, just seeing how things are getting going. Some layers going to pop up, and we are going to see some probes just minding the way to get things rolling. Factory is on the way down right now from GuMiho, and the reactor current on the barracks. So, again, for the, you know, right from the get-go, nothing too crazy going on as the Reaper is on the map, and it's going to try and find out what's happening. So, see the Reaper coming in, and we are going to have this Adept just having a little bit of a to see what's going on. Obviously wants to try and stop this Reaper from finding out too much at home. GuMiho's gone for the Cyclone as the CT finishes up. He is just waiting to get the money for the starport here in the next few moments. He is now on double gas. Obviously a single gas expand. Cyclones are very gas expensive, so you sort of have that, you know, it's an option whether you go starport right away in the factory finishes and then generally build a Hellion or Widow Mines, or you go for the Cyclone, in which case the starport will be delayed, because, again, off of a single gas expand, you just don't have that gas there and ready to go. If you go for the Cyclone, you can't afford the starport as well. So this was just the slightly delayed starport in that sense. As you will see the Cyclone coming across the map, we'll see what it can do. Blink's already being started, though, from Zest, so he's showing us a little bit of a different style to what we've seen from him already today. As we see a couple of gates and the Robo coming up. So again, so far from Zest, I mean, we've seen him go for a Stargate opening with the Oracle into Phoenix, we've seen him go for a Robo opener, and now we have a Twilight opener. So really, all these different builds from Zest and the PvT, very fun to see as we do see this Adept is going to be greeted by the Cyclone just outside the main base with 2 Stalkers coming forwards, and GuMiho is going to start realizing it's kind of just time for him to get out of there. Doesn't really want to take too much damage on this Cyclone, especially if he wants to use it to defend. That Adept does actually shade in front of the Cyclone. The Cyclone stops to fight. I'm not really too sure about that. Gets into the line of sight blocker. Oh my god, that's so sick! What? I didn't even know that was a thing. You sit in the line of sight blocker, and because the other units can't get in because of the rocks, they actually just can't fight back. I was like, whoa, why is he fighting? Why is he going to lose the Cyclone? No, he saves the Cyclone. That was such a sick play. Wow. I haven't seen that before myself, I'm not going to lie, so that was really cool to see for the first time. Maybe you guys have seen it in some other games, but I haven't cast a lot of these matches lately, honestly, because I've been away, of course, so a lot of these maps, so that was kind of cool. That was really cool. Well, Widow Mine drop is lining up as well as GuMiho's looking for some further damage here. You're going to drop through the main base, and already 1, 2, 3, 4 Widow Mines. Oh my god, the probes got blocked! The probes got stuck, and they're going to go off! Oh my god, the Widow Mines don't do maybe the game-ending damage, which they could have done right there, but that was a nice split from Zest in the end, and Nice position of the Widow Mines the second time in just a matter of seconds, really. Where GuMiho uses the kind of the blocking aspect of units to try and gain an advantage. Zest just not on mineral walk there, getting caught up, and that was very nearly very scary. So Bane Buzz for the win, by the way. How you doing with the Twitch Prime sub for 2 months? Thank you so much for Twitch Prime resubscribing. Great to see you back, and hope you're having a great week so far. As we do see this medevac continue to boost away and does get away into the natural. Cyclone arrives on the third base of Zest, which is starting to take some damage now. A couple of stalkers coming forward. The pylon is just looks as though that's what he wants to try and kill here. Now he targets, just looks as though he's not really paying attention to the Cyclone. He is under pressure over here. There's only one Marine in the bunker to begin with. The medevac that was being chased initially goes down. Some more Marines in the bunker. He gets another Marine kill before he blinks away. And those couple of Widow Mines from GuMiho just going to sit back for the moment. Recall back home because we actually see medevacs in the main. Dropping off a couple of Widow Mines again. They don't get too much done, but it forces a little bit of lost mining time. A little bit of lost mining time. His extra gates now coming down. It's double forge from Zest. And so having kept his third base alive, being on 3 bases, double upgrades coming in. This is where Zest in general will start to look very, he should start to look very happy. He should be kind of feeling good about himself at the moment. As things get going here, we are going to be seeing +1 is starting up from GuMiho. A couple of Marauders, a couple of Marines on the way out. Combat shields as well currently coming through. And there is GuMiho's third base just now coming down. Those Widow Mines do get to drop, and they get one shot off on a set of Stalkers, which is nice. It's better than nothing, which is what they were doing previously. And there's now a Liberator will come into the main base. I love this, by the way, because he really has, brought the Stalkers back onto the map, and suddenly there's a Liberator in the main. It forces warpins, it forces lost mine time. There's nothing there to deal with it immediately. And it does do... look at this. All these probes just sat here doing absolutely nothing for, what, 10 seconds now? A little bit longer. And you see a couple of Stalkers blinking underneath, and it means the Liberator will get away. Only 2 Stalkers will not be enough. Well, it will be if the Liberator comes back in a position. He actually resieges that there, and he is going to just push the Stalkers back. And again, nice play so far. Well, we're going to be seeing the third command center about to finish up from GuMiho, as we do see more of these bio units just gathering down onto the low ground. So, still just gathering these up together. 2 upgrades are on the way now from Zest. Again, it's going to be a massive attack and armor upgrade lead for him here. You're going to see Widow Mines try and drop. He gets 3 of the Widow Mines off, and well, Stalkers are able to blink out of position. Although the last one apparently missed his blink, so a little bit unfortunate, but there is going to be a cleanup of the Widow Mines for 1 Stalker. Not bad at all. He also killed the medevac, right, and all 4 Widow Mines went down. That Liberator is still here, but not really able to move, because, well, where's it going to move to without just being killed instantly? Biounit's actually just going to take down these rocks, which do share health, so when you knock them down, it collapses this entire area. It means that the Protoss player can't move forwards for a moment or two, and he will just start to work his way through the rocks, because why not? If he doesn't want the rocks there, then, get rid of them, and you have that mobility, that access into the center of the map given to you once more. Just going to be seeing the Biounit's going to continue over to the left side, and coming back towards the third base, looks as though in general we're just going to have GuMiho rallying his units together here. His Liberator's coming back home as well, which means it can get repaired up too. Again, this set of Biounits is just going to come around the south. GuMiho going to have a little bit of a look to see just what might happen here in the near future. Concussive Shell's about to finish up, +1 armor on the way. And again, there's a little bit of bio just coming through, and maybe a scan to get rid of an Observer here. He's actually going to lift up under the Observer, but the Stalker's in position. And kind of lucky these other Stalkers were not far forwards, because he would have been on top of that so quickly. Already 2 Marauders going down, runs into the Widow Mines here though. I say runs into, he's going to come forwards and blink out, and then a little bit of splash taken, maybe 1 Stalker lost, but he does get the cleanup. Now GuMiho's going to continue dropping. What's in the main base at this stage? Well, a warping of Stalkers and Zealots, but that's 4 medevacs, not all of them completely full, but it's still a good amount of bio units. GuMiho's afraid though, he backs away for now, but it means that this massive Protoss counter-attack is going to arrive, and this is one of those scenarios where you come in, you kill a base, and you just recall home and you save yourself. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. This third base goes down, it's just an instant recall, or does he just feel as though he can defend at home with reinforcements? Well, reinforcements starting to come in, so let's see. For now, the 2-2 upgrades are really carrying Zest. Look how long these Zealots stay alive for. Even Probe's going to pull into this right now. Those upgrades are really just the hard carry at the moment, and no recall was needed here in the end from Zest. There's 1 more round of Zealots that will get the job done. Nicely done. Zest was actually forgetting charge here for quite some time, so that does hurt, but at the moment it's, it's going to work out. He killed a lot of probes, GuMiho, but of course Zest killed a third base, and without a third base, there's only so much economy which GuMiho can have anyway, so even though he has a 23 worker lead, 20 of his workers are oversaturated on the natural expansion. That's 20 workers which are just well, sat there not really doing much at all. These few artifacts which did get away are now being cleaned up, as well as the rest of the army kind of loops back around, catches some units on the outro, and, well, again, nicely done, I would say, so far by Zest. Again, he knew that the upgrade advantage would be enough for him. He didn't have to recall home. He maximized the damage he dealt. At this point, he is actually going to find a couple of mortals over here. Not sure what they were quite doing. I think they were actually in a Warp Prism, and the Warp Prism got killed off by the Liberators, so that would make sense and explains why a random couple of mortals show up on the top side of the map after the Observer missed where they came from. Free upgrades coming through from Zest right now. A charge upgrade about to finish as well. Robo facility is starting up, and we're just going to be seeing another Nexus from Zest on the upper right hand side of the map. So another Nexus coming down. Probe going to head up there, and, well, a DT from Zest as well, also going to be walking around a little bit, see what's going on. There's the Liberators of GuMiho also just gathering together, and GuMiho, well, that's his issue, right? He still has to rebuild this command center. He lost that, and so while Zest is like, yep, cool, gold base for me, GuMiho is like, please just give me a third base to mine from. I can't even use my SCVs at the moment. And I think that's what's going to really carry Zest through this year. As he hits free upgrades, he's going to maintain that upgrade lead. And with that upgrade lead maintained, he's going to be able to keep on doing so much. As he comes over to the left-hand side, gets a bit of a Marine to begin with. The rest of these bio-units from GuMiho, some Liberators as well, just moving around. And you're not going to be seeing that command center. He's going to be finishing up in just a few moments. Well, it would be if this DT didn't come and slow things down. Slow play from Zest to slow things down once again. Again, this Nexus on the top right is finished up, and the DT does come on forwards. You're going to see a couple of SCVs will be going down here, so the SCV is starting to drop, and again, just slows down this command center. GuMiho just keeping GuMiho just being kept into such a tough position. You know, again, it's already not a pretty position, and having to spend 2 scans now to just keep this CC building. Well, Zest, he's starting to come across the map. He has this Warp Prism, so he can reinforce on the go as well, and I do think that with this economy that Zest has had throughout, I think he's going to be feeling okay right now as he comes over the left-hand side. GuMiho's actually out on the map as well. Remember, it's an entire set of upgrade lead here, and even an extra arm upgrade on top of that as well for Zest. So he's doing good right now if it comes to a larger fight. A little bit of a sim forwards here. I mean, Zest just backs away because he doesn't want to fight in Liberation Zone, so he makes sure that's not going to be the case. He gets himself 2 of these Widow Mines, blinks away after getting 3. And that's the 4th one, which is now on cooldown. So obviously that works out, and says, well, there's nothing here for him to defend, so he's able to pull back into position to defend his bases. The biggest risk would be kind of a massive drop into the main. That could cause Zest some issues. But GuMiho didn't go for that. As the first EMP goes down, it looks good. Liberators go down pretty quickly, though. And whoa, the Widow Mines actually get quite a lot of damage done. Suddenly Zest lost his Zealots. GuMiho? That's a really good fight for him here. I mean, again, the first EMPs were good. The Zealots got destroyed by those Widow Mines, and the upgrades for now are not enough for Zest. Another EMP is fantastic on the Zealots. So they're once again going to drop fairly quickly. The Prism, not super important at the moment, but it does go down. And Zest has just fallen apart. He's got so much money in the bank, can't warp in fast enough. A Colossus here coming out, but, I mean, one Colossus isn't going to make the difference. It doesn't even have extended thermal lance just yet. We're going to be seeing these bio units coming over the right side. I mean, an EMP on the Warping in Zealots once again. Wow, how did GuMiho make this happen? He didn't have a third base. He was down a gold base as well on top of that lack of a third. And yet here he is. He takes a fight, and, well, the Zest army just missed the splash damage. I kind of thought it was going to be okay just being gateway units because he was so far ahead. But no, I mean, again, the EMPs were good. The Widow Mines were amazing. And that is how Zest is going to drop game number 1, it seems. Wow. What an absolutely incredible first game from GuMiho. To turn that around is just absolutely insane. To keep your nerve, to keep your calm when, you know, you're dropping a base, when everything else is going wrong for you. You know, you're looking for these opportunities, but you just don't find them. In the end, you get there. Keep things going. To the top right-hand side, we do start with our Red Terran player from Psystorm Gaming. This is GuMiho. Going up against the blue Protoss player to the bottom left-hand side, we have Zest. So, what a lead for GuMiho at the moment. As we get set to go into game number 2, have a little bit of a look to see what is going to be happening over the next few moments. It's been a, I mean, first game interesting. I mean, fun series. Zest looked so good in against Alive in the PvTs as well. So fun to see this kind of ping-ponging around a little bit. and to see what's going on and all the rest of it. Again, let me know what's up in chat. Let me know how everyone's doing. Sad to hear you're not doing so great, Mjolky. Hope things get better. It's a Pella Zircon as well. It was fun to hang at BTSL. We had a lot of fun. BTSL was fun. It's really crazy because, you know, because I went straight from like BTSL to somewhere else, like I didn't really get that time to like reflect on my like how fun BTSL was. But BTSL was awesome. We had so much fun. It was a fun little weekend. We had, I've just been, I don't know, like, it was one hell of a trip that I went on. It was pretty awesome. SCV gonna come around, and Probe's gonna take some damage here. Zest is gonna be typing in Korean. Can't speak Korean, so I can't really help you guys out there, but maybe Crank helps us out because Crank is good like that. Maybe get some compliments of lag or so. Looks as though there was a pause. The benefits of replays. We don't even have to sit through the pauses. So awesome. Cybernetics core will finish up here from Zest. Reducing Adept, just Corona boosting out at the moment. It's going to be seen this factory is on the way up, and we do see a refinery coming down as well in the main base. Reaper from GuMiho comes down to the bottom left hand side to also just have a little bit of a look to see what is going on, what is happening. Jumps up in towards the main, and, well, initial scouting information to be gained is there's an Adept, and he turns away pretty quick. Didn't see the Robo on the way up, so maybe he doesn't expect there to be the tech this quickly, or doesn't feel the need to know the tech this quick. I mean, he might just feel as though he can't actually dive by the Adept. I think he maybe could have done, but rather just keep the Reaper alive, it seems. As you do see, just Adept shades forwards, and again, this Reaper just has to be a little bit careful. Backs the way out and towards the center. Cyclone is on its way out right now from the factory, and you do see a few Marines just going to be gathering up together in the front of the natural here. It's a Papa Mitch coming in with a big old 35-month resub. It's a very rare day where Papa Mitch's resub isn't the longest one of the day so far. Outdone by Mjolky, what can I say? Papa Mitch, thank you so much for the 35 months on the tier 2 as well. Dude, thank you so much for the support, do appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for the resubscribing as always. Hope you're doing well. And good to see you on our first stream back on the grind again. If you're just tuning in, we're going to be grinding it out the next couple of weeks. Streaming pretty much every day, and the next few days especially. I mean, tomorrow should be absolutely insane. We got a hell of a stream tomorrow with Kung Fu Cup, WCS EU, and WCS NA qualifiers. We have got so much StarCraft to bring you guys. It's going to be absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. RoboBay, very quickly here from Zest. A big change up from the last game, which was double forging gateway units through and through. So this time it's about splash damage from the get-go, whether that's the Disruptors or the Colossus. Looks more so to be Colossus here. I mean, Disruptors don't really work on their own unless they're like supported by like Blink Stalkers, for example, right? But where's the Twilight Council? Where's the Blink? It's just going to be a Colossus opening here. Maybe switching to Disruptors on 2 or 3 Colossus. It's a very popular way of going about things. And, yeah, GuMiho. I mean, Stimpak's on the way up for him. As you see, this Reaper is going to be trying to hop up in towards the main base. First Adept is going to get a couple of shots off and is going to get the kill here in the end. Attempt to grenade. Actually, no way. If that Reaper had gone out of there, that would have been insane. If there wasn't this wall off in the back, that Reaper actually would have survived, and that would have been amazing. Very well placed grenade. Kept the Adept out of reach for just the next moment or two as the medevac loads up the Cyclone 2 Widow Mines. Going to be coming across through the top side and getting ready to see what is next. Stimpak on the way up here currently from GuMiho, +1 attack on the engineering bay is also on its way down. Again, I mean, there's already first Colossus about to pop here, so as first Colossus comes up, it does go a long way to helping out against these Marines, which don't even have stim yet. I mean, they might by the time the attack comes in. Even then, they're not going to have combat shields. They're going to have not even really much medevac support. You see the Cyclone actually drops down here on those 2 Stalkers, which just walked in. So Zest maybe a little bit concerned about that. Has the intent to deflect those Widow Mines, however. And ooh, the Stalkers are going to go for the medevac kill, and he will get the medevac kill, which is nice because the Widow Mines of the Cyclone now abandoned there. Meanwhile, he will see these Marines approaching as well. He has the Observer, right? So he sees these Marines are coming forward. He shouldn't be all too worried about it. Colossus from a distance is going to get a little bit of damage done here, shaving away at a couple Marines to begin with. And we do see that Cyclone, a little bit backwards and forwards at the moment, in and out of that Widow Mine range. Doesn't want to have that set off unless he can really deal with it. And obviously a Colossus would be a very good way of dealing with that. A little bit of extra range with an Observer overhead. Those Widow Mines should not really be much of an issue. Or just the Stalkers, I mean, will work as well. No, 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 no! Zest, no! I mean, I don't think he forgot about the Widow Mines. Oh, he's going to lose. Okay, and in depth. For a moment, I thought I was targeted on the sentry. Wow, 7 probes, 8 in the end. That shouldn't have happened. I mean, Zest knew those Widow Mines were there, and he just let them walk on into the trap. Not pretty. Not pretty at all. There's a few Marines and Marauders from GuMiho going to keep pushing forwards. GuMiho going to keep up pressure right now. 1-0 up in the series, remember. You see, it's a very easy pylon pick-off over here. Will cost him a couple of Marines, and actually doesn't get the pylon in the end either. Zest pretty quick to respond with that Colossus getting into range, so that did work out for him, as Blink starting up as well in the Twilight Council. Scan comes down. GuMiho still just backing away for the moment here, and seem to come around towards the top side. Just again relocating, keeping his bio units. Just, you know, keeps Zest guessing as to what's going to come up next. Finds an Observer, sieged up, so there's nothing it can, absolutely nothing that can be done about that at all. The Observer does go down very quickly here, with the Observer just coming down to the south side from Zest, backing away. Looks as though he just wants to replace some of his vision, which he just lost out on. So, watching a few of these pathways on the right side, he has his army position on the left side. So, in general, he's pretty well covered for wherever this attack may come from. Of course, behind all of this, we haven't really looked at the Terran side of things because he has just been setting up while being aggressive, so we haven't really had the chance to look at the Terran space, but you know, he's onto the double reacted starport. He's cranking out those Vikings very quickly here, 4 at a time, and obviously the Vikings are generally going to be the answer to those Colossus, so a couple of Colossus just sat back right now on the third base. We are going to be seeing a little bit more bio just coming in here. GuMiho looking to see what he can try and do. Hallucinated Phoenix from Zest, and we'll try and come forwards as well. Get some information. We'll maybe just see the edge of this army. I mean, the Viking shoots, so he knows it's moving over here. Zest knows this army's going to be in location very soon. And what does Zest have at the moment? +1/+1 isn't ready. Blink isn't ready. Zest has to buy a little bit of time, honestly. He has to buy a little bit of time, and that might not be easy. He's actually going into Immortals as well, going into a Dark Shrine behind this too. GuMiho getting ready to push on forwards. Could just take himself this series right here and right now. If this is successful, a couple of extra Zealots finish warping in. Another Zealot here off to the top side is going to finish warping in too. A scout on top of this army. And GuMiho doesn't see a lot. Just going to be seeing GuMiho coming up this ramp now instead. There's still 3 Colossus. How many Vikings is this? 8? Well, oh dear. 2 Vikings go down very quickly. And he just now gets the first Colossus kill. I think that's an issue because I think 2 of these Colossus will stay alive. And if 2 stay alive, I think that's more than enough to actually keep on fighting against this bio. There's extra Vikings coming in. Don't do much more than shield damage against the Colossus here. And it looks as though as Marauders sim forwards, the Colossus will just kite backwards. GuMiho does not have a good engagement at all. And this entire series so far has been determined on good engagements, bad engagements. I mean, obviously that's kind of how StarCraft goes, but it feels like GuMiho this game was doing way better because of the fact that we're traveling for a little bit the last couple of weeks. Again, we're back. We're going to be casting a lot the next couple of weeks though. Lots of games coming your way. Lots of action. Lots of StarCraft to be consumed. Gonna have some event planning going on in the next few days as well, so I can actually figure out myself what exactly we are going to be casting, because I'm sure we have to get some WardiTV weeklies on the go and some stuff like that. Let's get some events rolling. Cast some games, cast some StarCraft 2, you know? Alright guys, so as we jump into Zest vs GuMiho, let's see what happens. We have to the bottom right hand side our Red Protoss player. This is Zest. And he's going up against the blue Terran player in the top left-hand side of the map from Storm Gaming. It's GuMiho. PvT best of 3 here, of course, and games number 1 and 2 were interesting because honestly, so far I feel the player that was winning for the majority of the game has ended up losing. So interested to see just what happens as we go into the third game of this right now, as we look to see what's going to happen. As we do see this probe of Zest is coming along towards the upper left-hand side, going to be poking on in. And just having a little bit of a look-see to be like, hey, how's it going? Oh, you got a barracks, cool. Didn't see that coming, did I? Yeah, I mean, Zest in general. There's more information we picked up, though, you know. Do you see double gas? Is it one gas? You can be annoying with this probe as well. There's a good reasons, you know. It also tells them there is indeed a barracks, right? So, as you know, as much as I said that's an obvious kind of given sort of thing to kind of pick up on, you know, the barracks could have been proxied. It's something that we've seen, for example, Beyond was doing in GSL not so long ago. Not today's matches, I didn't actually see those yet, but during his group stage games, he was doing a bit of Proxy Rax play as well. And yeah, this probe coming down to the south side. It's actually kind of crazy because Bjorn's GSL group was not long ago, right? It was Saturday and they had quarterfinals today already. It's kind of insane. It's kind of insane. What's up, everyone from Loco's stream coming in? How you guys doing? Welcome. Welcome all you raiders. Hope you had a good time with Loco. I'm so sad. I've not been able to watch Loco for like 2.5 weeks because, believe it or not, when you're in America, Loco streams really early. It's annoying, honestly. Loco's just so European, bro. What's up, man? How you doing? Hope you've been doing well. And thank you so much for the raid. Hello, everyone. As you're joining us. Currently, we're just going through some games from the Kung Fu Cup. This is just our second series of the day. This is currently our third game of our second series. It's 1-1 between GuMiho and Zest. So, we're going to be seeing how this goes and continuing on. Hello, everyone. Well, again, hope you're all having a great day. And welcome to the stream. Just going through these games. We've probably got about 5-6 series after this still, so we've got a lot of action. And then we're actually going to be having a little bit of downtime. But after a little bit of downtime, we're also going to be jumping into the WCS America qualifiers. So we're literally going to be live for the next 10, maybe like 8 or 9 hours probably. So we've got a lot of StarCraft coming your way. So it's a good place to be if you like StarCraft. Loco, with the 9-month resub, we have a baby now. God damn it, didn't we have a baby on your stream too? So now we have 2? God, I'm telling you, man, I don't have enough subs to support 2 babies. I don't know what to tell you. Thank you so much, Enter 2K as well with the Geo 100 Loco squad reporting in. Thank you so much for the 100 bits. And Bit Ghost coming in. I nearly said Bit G Host, but that would have been silly. Bit Ghost coming in with the 5-month resub saying Zest is best. Love it. Absolutely love it. Alright, guys, what's up? How you all doing? We're jumping back into the action here, as this was just early game, so nothing too crazy just yet. Obviously, we do see Stimpack is on the way from GuMiho, which is some very important, a very important upgrade for him here to get started. This factory going to start up a tech lab as well, and the starport is sat right next to it too, so Medevac has popped out, and it's going to be the first little bit of pressure of the game from our Terran player beyond the Reaper, which is the few Widow Mines and Marines, heading across down towards the bottom right-hand side to see what's going on. Siege is starting up, as we mentioned before, as well. Keeps GuMiho very safe here as well, as you do see this observer right now of Zest heading down the left-hand side. It's been into the main, just going to find somewhere else to sit. For example, this observer's just seen this medevac coming into the main, and so it shouldn't be able to achieve too much. Stalkers able to instantly turn this medevac away and push it away up the right-hand side. So that medevac pushed away for now. And as we do see that medevac pushed away, we do see a few more Marines are still just gathering themselves up together. Siege tank here is also going to be popping out. As you mentioned, those siege tanks good defensively, but they can also be used very well, offensively also, right? I mean, you can pull them across the map, siege up, and boom, all of a sudden a push on a third base becomes very, very scary. So we're just going to be seeing the few Stalkers and a couple of Adepts just going to continue on in towards the natural here, and we do see this medevac taking a little bit of damage. So a couple of Widow Mines and Marines getting pushed away, but still alive, which means it can join up with this attack. And you can see GuMiho is going to get aggressive with just a single siege tank here. Pushing on forwards down the south side, he's going to be able to, well, arrive and get something done. But Colossus is one of the biggest counters to this at the moment. You can see already the splash damage it does to those Marines is kind of deadly. Siege tank will target down the Colossus, but it is going to take a few shots, and it had to siege up as well, so it's taking a little while. Stalker can stand a free though, and this tank is going to continue supporting long enough to push those units away. And Zest, well, he doesn't quite clean up the entire army. We do see the siege tank was able to survive, but Zest also didn't lose a Colossus, and of course it only gets better for Zest, who has a second Colossus about to pop. Extended Thermal Lance on the way in as well. Liberator will siege up in the main base. We'll just get a... Ooh, he didn't even target down the probe, so actually lost that. As we are going to be seeing the Marines in the tank going to be attacking the third base at the same time. So some damage being put out over here, but again, I think with the Colossus arriving, there's no way this base actually falls. But it's been a good distraction. It's kept GuMiho on this top side of the map here, where he's been able to... Oh, it's kept GuMiho's top side of the map very safe from Zest, because Zest's been kept very much so on the bottom side. So, a few Stalkers and a couple of Colossus continue to defend this. Obviously, Colossus count goes up to 3 now. And at that stage, what do you do? Do you go in towards the Disruptors? Do you add Immortals on like you did in the last game? That's what we're about to be finding out, as we do see the Twilight Council on the Forge. as they finish up, upgrades should be getting rolling. A few extra barracks from GuMiho coming up in the main base. He's only been on 2 racks this entire time, so getting up into the 3rd, 4th, and 5th will allow him to really make use of his full free base economy now. And there is indeed just an Immortal or 2 going to be added in now from Zest on the Robo after his Colossus counters hit that kind of, the number you wanted to be at. The 3 Colossi, it's just a very common, sturdy number to work with. It has enough splash to take down a Bio Army. It forces a lot of Vikings out. Any more than 3, and all of a sudden, the Viking count doesn't need to be that much larger to deal with it. If you have 12 to 16 Vikings, it's the right amount for 3 Colossus. It's also the right amount for 4, 5, 6 Colossus, because they just start one-shotting them down. So, it's at that sort of stage where Zest says, okay, let's turn away, let's go in towards, something else. My Blink, my +1, we get my Immortals out, another Forge even. So let's looking into the next stage of this is, of course, GuMiho. Well, he's maybe thinking about what does he do next. He's continuing to build siege tanks here, so obviously keeping that first one alive now puts him at a total of 4. And that means that he's still, again, very well set up defensively. Without Vikings coming out, it means he is maybe very reliant on these siege tanks to get rid of the Colossus threat. For example, if Colossi push right now, he's going to have to target fire them down with tanks, because it's the only thing he can really use to touch the Colossus. They're going to be in range of this Colossi at least. All his bio units are going to be caught up by the kind of gateway units in front of the Colossus, so definitely looking to be very reliant on tanks here. And this Observer of Zest, I think, just caught a glimpse of those drops, and that's why he's already sending the Hallucinated Phoenix out up this side, maybe just to confirm where they go, whether they unload, whether they're going to stay in the medevac as well. There's a lot of different scenarios that can come out from this. Actually just patrols that there for a moment, sees a single Marine, but that's about it as GuMiho going to continue down. It's actually interesting, this Marine didn't see the hallucination because it stopped on the high ground, and because of that, Zest is now going to get the information that the rest of the drop is coming to. So some very good info here in the end from Zest. Obviously, GuMiho eventually finds that hallucination, knows that Zest knows about this drop, and hence doesn't really commit to it, because there's not really too much for him to gain in that, scenario. Pushing into an army which, well, has Colossus, his tanks are still at home. He has now started to build up that Viking count. We do see another starport is going to be finished. He's actually built the starport in the tech lab. Raises a couple of questions. It's the tech lab that was left behind by the factory, which has gone wandering down over here. So he's kind of done with factory units. It kind of feels like he wants to build a fusion core and liberate a range, because that's what you generally do with a tech lab starport. But he actually gets a Raven. Well, that's fairly unique as well. We've been seeing more of these Ravens come into gameplay for Terran players, like 1 or 2 supporting Ravens for the anti-armor missiles. Interesting to see GuMiho pulling one out here so deep into the game. Usually if you go Raven, you build it early, because not only, does it kind of fit into your build a bit better earlier, it also just straight up, builds up energy throughout the game. So suddenly you have it with energy when you need it to have energy, whereas now, GuMiho is going to take a little while to actually get that Raven to be valuable in these fights. Charge going to be finishing soon. 1-1 upgrades against just +1, although actually the 2-1 from GuMiho is not going to be too far behind, so give or take, upgrades are going to be evening out every now and then, and it shouldn't be, it's not too much of a deficit. Stalker's forced away by the first siege tank. I'm not going to try and dive further in, as GuMiho seems pretty content with the right-hand side of the map being where it is. He's going to take his 4th base to the left-hand side, as the Warp Prism does set up from Zest. This time with some Dark Templar inside of it, so looking for the DTs to get some damage dealt here in the next few moments. In towards the upper right, as we do see Zealots, Immortals, and Colossus. Well, they're still back at home. The rest of the army here from Zest has not really ventured too much further forwards, realizing that GuMiho is in this very defensive setup, not wanting to push an issue or anything. He's just going to back away, sit at home for now, and a couple of Archons from Zest currently on the way in. Extra pylons currently coming through as well. And we are going to be seeing this Warp Prism of Zest going to be dropping off in towards this 3rd base of GuMiho in the next few moments. A few DTs going to look to see what they can do. A couple of missile turrets do go off onto that Warp Prism. So Prism is going to be pushed away. And we have just got this group of units from Zest still just sat to the south. In the end, GuMiho actually decides to expand forwards rather than to the left-hand side, maybe realizing that, okay, well, Zest's army is backed away. I can take the forward base now, rather than being maybe forced to the left because his army was over to the right in the central sort of area. Stalker's blinking forwards, just finding a Marine or 2 that were kind of scouting forwards to see what was up. 2 Marines actually finding this Prism here. Warp Prism now has Warp Prism speed, gravitic drive, an upgrade off the Robo Bay, which, is actually, late game, much more useful than a lot of people seem to think it is. It's kind of crazy how much you can do with a speed Prism, as we are going to be seeing those Stalkers in a little bit of trouble there. Loses 2 of them to the main army, which from GuMiho is now out on the map. Still leaving those tanks back at home to defend, though. just leaving them there. I mean, that's a good chunk of supply. What, 8 supply just left at home? I mean, 8 supply doesn't seem like a massive amount, but they're very valuable units, the tanks, in terms of what they can do when it comes to fighting this Protoss army right now. Vikings and the Raven off over to the left. Ghosts have been introduced as well as a nuke from the Ghost Academy. So already a nuke coming on into play, and we do see, well, fifth command cell, sorry, starting up as well. GuMiho continues to keep his economy rolling. Pushing forward to the moment, we're going to be seeing Zest working his way through some rocks. Decided to kind of stop on that. You see a few of these Marines continuing down the left-hand side, and we are going to see those rocks already picked off here. Obviously, Zest is looking for locations in which you can, you know, just change up his kind of avenue of attack and get something extra done. Scan is actually, it doesn't even need a scan, I guess. The Raven will do the job of picking off that observer. That's actually a big deal in terms of what you can do with the Raven. Getting rid of observers on the map that he might not usually see. I mean, suddenly Zest has way less vision than he might usually want. Somehow these few Marines manage to sneak on by, and they will force some probes off the line. That's a few kills as well, so definitely not a bad thing, as we are going to be seeing now Zest. Oh, well, that's a cloak ghost, and the scan comes down. His entire army will just drop an EMP right into the center of this here. Hits 4 of the Immortals. It's a pretty big deal. A few Marauders stim forwards to try and get something done, as we see some ghosts in the center. He cloaks up another. Honestly, I think initially that ghost was meant to be heading for a nuke, but I just don't think he could miss up the opportunity to pop in an EMP on so much of the Protoss army, even if there wasn't so much of a follow-up. Our first nuke comes down, looks as though Zest has kind of seen where it is pretty quick. He was moving towards it, but maybe that was just a matter of coincidence. You're only going to see the observer here, so you will be able to clean this out. Stalkers skirmishing at the front of the army again. Vikings going to try and come in the top side. Remember, the Raven does have not just the anti-armor missiles, but interference matrices could be useful too, depending on the situation the players find themselves in. New interference matrix or the Colossus, boom. All of a sudden, this Protoss player is not going to have any any real splash damage, and that could be deadly. I mean, obviously a couple of Archons, but that'd be about it. See, trying to get a couple of shots off here. Zest continuing before he blinks forwards, but he's in towards a big chunk of bio. The MP is coming down again. There's the anti-armor missiles too. Suddenly Zest's army's painted orange. Doesn't really want to take a fight in this scenario, but he doesn't really have much of an option. I don't think he does. The Vikings are going to get rid of the Colossus so quickly here, especially with the fact they had anti-armor missile on them. Some Liberators showing up too. They could start sieging, but, well, they just got to fly a bit too far forwards. There isn't the support needed, and we are going to see the Stalkers able to push those Liberators and the rest of the units away. Our Stalkers continue to work their way through this set of rocks here down on the bottom side. Bio continue to gather on the left as well. Vikings and Liberator setting on up. GuMiho looking to keep on pushing. Both players have money in the bank, so they both have kind of reinforcements to play with here. First EMPs are very good from GuMiho. Hits all of the Immortals, hits an Archon too. Zest is still pushing forward, so just the sheer power from the number of Immortals seems to be doing well enough. And he is able to push on through and do very well in that fight in the end, despite the initial EMPs looking amazing. And that might be a good time to keep pushing from Zest, because those ghosts are out of energy, and out of energy ghosts don't really add much to an army. Yes, they can still attack, they don't really do anywhere near what you would kind of like them to do in terms of what an EMP can do. Stalkers continue to pick their way through missile turrets, and we're going to be seeing those turrets continue to fall. A few more units from Zest just coming over, and everything continue to be cleaned out. Fifth base is set up on the left-hand side here for GuMiho. You're going to see some more of this bio just coming along as well. Stalkers pushing forwards to see what's going to happen, and it's going to get a couple of units to begin with, a couple of Marines. Not a bad way to start things out in that position. Zest maxed out, as is GuMiho. GuMiho in the production tab, the Liberator's Raven. His army that has been rebuilt here is so tech heavy. Zest, though, I guess at the same time, has so many Immortals. Maybe just missing the Zealots to kind of really protect these units from, again, so many bio units. The MPs are going to be back on the table here very shortly. When they are, those Immortals can get taken down so quickly. There they are. The MPs get rid of the shields. They get rid of the barriers as well. And we are going to be seeing those units continue to push on forwards. I mean, Immortals are still just so tanky, and that's the issue. Catches a Stalker 2 on the way out. Honestly, he can chase up this round, maybe get another Immortal. Doesn't quite go far enough forward. Zest still with money in the bank. GuMiho without minerals to really build too much more. A few centimeters are going to warp in. Zest with 13 Zealots. Holy shit, he's on 16 gateways 16 minutes into this game. Oh my god, he's on 20 gateways! Wow, Zest talking about having enough production. He remaxes almost instantly here. Just going to be seeing those units continue to gather together. You see the prism coming around the right-hand side. Just going to be seeing the SCVs taking a little bit of damage as well. Some more damage being done. And you know, just going to be having the lone Colossus drop in the speed prism. It's doing a surprising amount. As we are going to be having the well, units of Zest on the left side going back into these closets because he cut down the Vikings, which were landed during that last fight. There's still a few up, but maybe not enough to really fight against kind of a larger Colossus count once again. Especially being maxed out, GuMiho can't really add more Vikings in at the moment. Good first EMP once again. Immortals are just weakened so massively. I mean, these couple of low HP, it's an anti-armor missile on the probes, can't really agree with that. But yeah, the Immortals, they get their barriers taken away, they get their shields taken away, suddenly they're on 35 health again. Those Immortals don't last long if they're only on 35 health from earlier. Prism goes down, some micro potential is limited now. The Liberator siege zones are an issue. Don't need Vikings if you got the Liberators, I guess, in good enough numbers. And the Vikings now picking away too because the Stalkers have to stay back because of the Liberators. Everything going wrong all of a sudden for Zest, and GuMiho puts himself on the third base. A third base that's vital for Zest's economy because he lost this forward base right here. And yes, he has far right, but what's the chances of bottom left staying alive? I would say almost non-existent based on where GuMiho's army currently is. So GuMiho should be able to clean out that bottom left-hand side too. If he doesn't, I guess it's because he's setting up to deal with the main army. Honestly, just a small handful of units down there would do work wonders right now, like one medevac of Marines or so. Obviously not happening just yet. Liberators have unsieged. Here's the stim from GuMiho. He wants to commit to this fight. Liberators are going to siege up. The Stalkers blink to the left side. That's not what they wanted to do. Now they don't get their shots onto the Liberators as they need to. The Colossus just disappear. The Gateway units are gone. The Immortals are non-existent now. The scan to get rid of the Dark Templar will be good enough as well. There's actually not that much bio left on the ground, but there's enough bio left on the ground. Plus the fact there's still going to be reinforcements streaming forwards, and GuMiho, he still has gas in the bank as well. Zest is drained of money. All he can really afford here at this stage is maybe just Zealots. I mean, Zealots are pretty good, but considering there's still, you know, Ghosts on the way, Liberators up, he needs some extra Stalkers, and he's just not going to find that. The anti-armor missile misses because of the blink, which does actually work quite nicely. Liberators go down. Stalkers are going to go after the medevacs. Going pretty well, honestly, but the reinforced Marines are going to turn things around, I think. Coming in right now, they're going to be able to get rid of a good amount of the Zealots. The Stalkers have to blink back again. A Ghost cloaked up is putting out the damage wherever possible. We're going to be seeing the last few Stalkers backing away down to the south side, and GuMiho, again, his reinforcements are endless right now. Zest warps in 13 Zealots, which is a good number of units, but is it going to be enough? It's going to be tough. And Zest going to come up the left-hand side, and we are going to be seeing those Liberators continue to gather together. A few Liberators do siege, and we do have a Sense Tower coming down as well. Scan on Zest's army does just show that Zest is maybe not too convinced with the idea of pushing further forwards. Another group of Zealots from Zest warping in right here, getting set to go. Bio units coming down the left-hand side as well. I'm just going to see already a couple of Marines in the forward position. Getting picked away at. A Marauder goes down as well. Zest's going to try and retake that central base, which was taken away from him moments ago. And, well, now he's going to lose bottom left. We sort of thought that this was going to die a lot sooner. He's going to attempt the recall. Does the bio have enough DPS? It does. Cancels the recall. And that's the moment where Zest just says GG. Can't deal with having lost this game. And that is GuMiho taking the series 2-1. A 20-minute game free, though. Definitely